All right. Okay. Wow. Well, how you guys doing? Happy Friday to you. I'm going to go ahead and stop the music. Did I stop it? I never know. Okay. Well, I know you're thinking, Marquesa, didn't you say your last one? Does anyone remember that? I think I said my last one was the last one that I think I did last week, but things happen and I had to speak today. And I said, you know what? I like to leverage is my favorite thing in my business. So I'm like, if I'm speaking today, I've got to get, I got to get to my Zoom stars and talk to them a little bit. And I just came from another speaking thing. But Monday, I can say I'll be officially underground. So I had to kind of push it out by a week, but it's a good thing. It's a very, very good thing. So guys, what I want to do today is talk to you a little bit about my favorite thing, Zoom Enterprise, but kind of in a way that I don't think I've talked about it before. Yeah. Kind of talking about it a little differently because I wanted to get very specific. I also have a few screenshots that you've never seen me use. So, because I'm hoping this will help you, because if you already have a Zoom Enterprise account, you need to use it. We're in a new year, a new time. And I would love, whether you're watching me on YouTube or you're watching me in the Leveraging Facebook group or you're watching me right here in Zoom. And by the way, guys, if you want to join me in Zoom, I'd love to see your lovely face. If you want to join me in Zoom, just go to speakism.com. That's SPEAK and then ISM.com and come right on in here. Or for some reason, if you can't get in here that way, or you're on your phone or something, just go to Zoom, join a meeting, and type in the word speakerpreneur, and it'll bring you right in here. Okay. Just type in the word speakerpreneur, and it'll bring you right in here. Good. So Teresa, let me know. Am I live streaming? I want to make sure everything's good, everything's working. And what's so cool is I'm using Restream. So I definitely was asked by people, well, how are you doing this? So live streaming is one of the things I will talk about. But multi-streaming, I think more so. I think some people wanted to know how that's happening. Looks like there's Amir. So I got my trusty producer helping me, as well as team member Teresa, making sure that everybody's all set. If you're in here, guys, do me a favor, just keep yourself muted until I bring you, until you're actually speaking. And then what else am I trying to do? It was something I was trying to do. I know what it was. And Teresa is texting me. Good. So Teresa, I know what it was. I need to look at Restream. I'm sorry. One thing I love about using Restream, guys, is Restream lets me know where I'm going live, and it lets me know how many people are watching me, which is kind of cool. Yeah. So that way I don't have to wonder. And I'm actually going live on my Facebook business page, a Facebook group, my Leverage Facebook group. Sometimes I go live right on my main page on Facebook. I'm not doing that today. And I'm going live on my YouTube. So those are the places, but there are other places you can go live. Those are the places that I choose to go live. So I think my brain is moving a little slower, but it's going to come back. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it's telling me that I'm going live. So that is fabulous. And I see where I'm at. So I do got people watching me pretty much from everywhere. So that's fabulous. Good. And don't forget, again, you can join me right here on Speakism. All right, guys, let's get started. I want to talk about my favorite thing. If you're here, put in the chat room, as a Zoom Enterprise member or as a Zoom Enterprise holder, or maybe you're not, what is a question you have? Maybe it's a question that you have. So I'm going to refer to those questions in a bit, but I'm going to get started just to kind of give you something to talk about. So I'm going to hit share screen. And I love to use portion of screen so that I can jump around. I never know what exactly I want to use. All right. And then let me just change it to navigation view. Okay, good. All right. So I have to start off by telling you guys this. I did something wrong. Can you guys see my screen? I think I went too big here. Well, that would help. Oh, well, I guess you can see it, but I'm not seeing what's being shared. So I'm sorry, guys. It's going bananas on me. Hold on one second. All right. Minimize that. Thank you very much. Okay. Not that one. It's funny. This is what happens when you do a lot of different presentations. You have all these slides in front of you, like that's the wrong deck. And then you can't find your deck. Oh, and then I just went live on someone's, I don't like it. I do not like, what is that thing called? StreamYard. I did not like it. It just gave me a headache. I am Zoom through and through, guys. I have to tell you. And when I have to get on a different platform, I'm perturbed a little bit. First things first, I want to make sure you guys have my phone number. Okay, this is please do not text me questions here. That's not what this is for. But especially while I'm underground, from time to time, I may do like a little short video or share a little tip, or this is going to be more for the backstage stuff, little bitty things that I may not want to send out officially on my email list or put officially into my Facebook groups that may have something to do with Zoom or something that I talk about. So if you want to get on that list, that's the number that's right there. If you're not looking at my slides, it's 917-724-8462. And just send me a text that says, send me Zoom updates, or let me know kind of why you're on the list. I would love that. And you will be in there. And I don't send them out every day, maybe a couple of days, but I like it because it gives me another way to communicate with you. So that may be a good thing to sign up for. Okay. Fabulous. So we're going to do what I love, which is Zoom like a boss. So what do I mean by that? It means leveraging the Zoom platform in your business, resulting in smart meetings, stellar presentations, more business, leverage time, and energy. And guys, it works. I'm happy to announce that I just got signed with a speakers bureau. A new one. So I'm kind of excited. And I've spoken for speaker bureaus in the past, but it's not my main thing. Am I hearing noise, guys? Meet yourselves out. But that tends to not be my main thing. So I'm kind of excited about that. But I'm telling you this because the more you can Zoom, the more you can live stream, the more you can just get out there and share what you know. You never know who's watching you. Am I right? You never know who's watching you. And someone may say, hey, and then somebody may refer you. And then some people may never reach out. And then when they have a need, they do. So please, I'm not just sharing this stuff with you to share it. I really want you to take action. And I would love if you would email me and share with me how you're taking action. Okay. So I'm going to share some of my best practices. I'm going to take you, my favorite thing, I'm going to take you on a journey here. So first of all, you already know my favorite thing is way more than a meetings platform. It's a platform that if you use it strategically, it will help you win the game. I like that. Help you win the game. That's kind of how I beat everybody in Monopoly all the time. So it's good. And you've got to leverage it. In other words, I like it because I use it maybe in one way, but I get 4 or 5 benefits out of it. So like right now, as much as I love live, guys, I love going directly into a Facebook group via Zoom. I do everything through Zoom. As long as my origin is Zoom, I'm good. So whether it's a multi-stream or a direct stream on YouTube or direct stream on Facebook, I like using it. But the reason why I've started to do multi-streams, I'm like, wait a minute, I can put my content in all these different places. Well, cockle-doodle-doo. So again, that's an example of leveraging. Ask yourself when you're going to take an action, especially a Zoom action, how can you shift it up a little bit? You guys know we're in our new normal. So things are very different and they're not going to go back. They're only going to get better. So I'd love for you to put in the chat room when I'm going to talk about 4 features, kind of really 5, but I've organized it in 4 sections, 4 features. And I'm going to kind of approach these features like I've never approached them before. I would love if you would put in the chat room after I've talked about the feature, what action you're going to take within the next week. Are we cool with that? Yeah. Good. Thank you. So I'm going to talk about transcription. Put a Y if you use it, or put a no if you don't really use Zoom transcription. Yes, if you do, a Y, yes, or N if no. If you don't really use Zoom transcription, I'm curious. What do we mainly have, Teresa? Do we have a lot of yeses or nos?
It looks like we only have one yes and not yet.
Well, you know what I love? This is what I love because for those of you that either didn't say no or you think no, what if you saw this slide? How you like me now? What if you saw this slide? Do you guys see this slide? Go and take a screenshot. You know you want to. Do you see this slide? What does it say? How do I use transcriptions in Zoom? This is how I use it. I use it for proposals. Now, if I go through this whole list, I'm gonna be exhausted. So I'm gonna pick certain things. If it's something on this list and you're thinking, I wonder how she uses it for that. Really, how? Put in the chat room and we'll go with the top 5. But I know proposals everyone wants to know because I hate proposals. Anybody like me? I hate them. I'm the worst procrastinator. I'm terrible at it. But what I try to do is I love to do live proposals. And what that means is bring somebody on. And I think you guys have heard me talk about this. I'll bring somebody on. And it usually involves a couple of meetings. It's usually a meeting planner. I map everything out. And most meeting planners will email me or say, hey, let's hop on the phone. I'm like, I do not use the phone. Please meet me on Zoom because I need to share my screen. And I remember it was one in particular meeting planner that was like, no, I don't want to go on camera. I don't want to do it. I'm going to be, I'm going to be somewhere sitting outside of a school in my car and I don't want to do that. And I said, no problem. I'll send you a phone number. You do know that you have a phone number on Zoom, right? Yes, you do. If you go to invite, you'll see that there's a telephone number. Just send them the telephone number. That's all. And the meeting code, if you have one set. And then they can come in on the telephone number and the meeting code, and you can still come in on the visual side. And then you may say, well, wait a minute, if they come on the phone, will they see it? Believe you me, once they get on here, I will get them to dial in on their phone and make sure that they can see my screen. So it's a great strategy. Anyway, I do that in every case. I need to see the person and see their faces. But I got to move faster because if I do this with every slide, we'll be here all night. But I do all my proposals here. And so I'll have the client meet me again in a few days and I will share the proposal. And then I put the physical proposal that they can take with them right through the file sharing, which is right in the chat window. And that's how I do it. Writing, my grandmother, 91 years old, y'all, my Mama Rose. I love my Mama Rose. She is honestly healthier than a lot of folks I know that are, half her age. And one of the things I spoke to her recently and she said, I want to write my life story. She said that for a while, but I could tell, okay, maybe a lot of writing, maybe a bit much. I said, Mama Rose, if I taught you how to use Zoom, would you write your book there? She's like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? I said, all right, this is what I want you to do. I just want you to pull out your phone and I want you to speak your book because she's a speaker too. She's between her and my mom. I got speaking talents from my family members, especially my grandmother. And she says, I can do that. I would love to speak it. So literally right on her phone, she can literally go to the Zoom app, type record. I gifted her a Zoom Enterprise account and boom, her whole book is there. And then I tell Mama Rose, do whatever you feel. Now, if you want to see your face, you can do the video side. If you want to, just write it, you can write it. But let Zoom help you. The transcription is right there. So that's how I use it. And that's how I help my 91-year-old grandmother to use it. So let's see Teresa, which are the ones that people really want to know about in terms of transcriptions?
Well, I saw someone mention coaching, so they wanted to know, I guess, how do you use Zoom Enterprise in your coaching sessions?
Oh, that's easy because I want my coaching client to be present. I talk fast, and sometimes when I talk, I'm sharing a lot of things. So my coaching clients learn early on, she's going to share a lot of information. They know that it's recorded, but who wants to go back and look at a recording, right? And then I'm going to show you something so you can see how easy it is to go exactly where you want to go in that transcript, which will save you time in case I share something that really gets you going. So of course, Here's a couple of things I do, guys. I let my coaching client also record it on their end. So I always do the allow to record. You can just click those three dots and let them do that. But on my end, I have to do the recording so that I can get a transcription, right? And then what I do is I tell my member, okay, I'll send you the transcript and you can just be present. Just take down things that you have to write, but I'd rather you pay attention to me, and they love it. So it's just another way of supporting your clients. That's how I do it. And I also do it, guys, I didn't even put it on the list for prospects, because I'll meet with people who are thinking about working with me, and they'll ask a question I never thought about, or they'll say, well, we need this, we need that. Not only do I map it out, but I would also ask them as many questions as I can to make sure that I serve their needs. And I don't want to remember all that stuff. I don't know about you, but I write terribly. I write like a doctor. So what I used to do before I really maximized Zoom's transcripts is I would write it all down, and then I'd go back and go, what was that? And then I can't find it. And then the next day, I don't know which page I put it on. So I like that Zoom keeps me organized. So guys, let me show you this. Check this out. Do you see this? So look at this. Zoom gives you a video transcript for every single file that they record for you. Do you know what I mean by that? So, and I'll get to the recordings in a bit, but I asked Zoom to give me 8 different recordings per meeting. I'm a little greedy. Give me 8 recordings per meeting, and they're all different. And of the 8, outside of chat and the written transcription and audio, all the rest of them, and I'll show you those a little bit later, they offer a transcription version of it. So what do I mean by that? That's exactly what's on my screen. So you see my screen being shared. This is the PowerPoint that I shared during this presentation. This is me right here speaking on the video, and then the transcription is to the right. And so every time I would speak, the transcription just moves. It highlights whatever I'm saying. Isn't that cool? So I love it because I can just share this with whomever with just one link, one little URL link. Here's something else that I like about this. And the chat messages are in here too. You can remove the chat messages in case you don't want to send that. Maybe it's a large group and you don't want to share that, or you do. Here's something else. You may say, well, wait a minute, Marquesta, what if, is it accurate? I think it's pretty accurate, but if you're concerned about maybe a certain word, like my name is Marquesta, Zoom used to have a problem spelling my name. I think they didn't got used to it now, the Zoom transcription service. So it used to be Marquesta all over it, Marquesta. So you can search transcript, you can type in whatever that misspelled word is, or that word you want to remove right here in the search box, and it will show up in the transcript. You can easily remove it. Is that crazy or what? That's amazing. So I use it that way. Here's, by the way, these are the different types of recordings and / transcriptions that I ask from Zoom. I want the gallery view. Okay, I want the speaker view. I want the active speaker. Active speaker is primarily for webinar, because whoever is speaking, webinar will show that person on the screen. Although there's a new thing, remind me to tell you about that when we get to webinar. And then speaker shared view is here. That means whatever PowerPoint I'm sharing, and then it's me. I can get a transcript for all of these, not only a recording, but a transcript. So if I decided, you know what, I want to share with Marilyn gallery view, and I want to give her the transcript of it and the recording in one link, I can just send that directly to her. Or if I decide I want to give Marilyn all of these, again, I can send one link and she'll get all of them in one felt swoop, in addition to the audio and the other parts of it. Isn't that cool? So I love that I'm able to do that. And I'll show you exactly where that is. Matter of fact, here it is right here. Here it is. So I recently did this on Monday because I'm slowly meeting with people to tell them what I'm rolling out in 2021. It's really big. I'm excited about it, but I'm not talking about that today because I'm underground and I want to do my little process. But anyway, during this meeting that I had Monday on how to work with Marquesta, I love that I can go in here and, of course, label it so that it makes it a little bit easier. Then these are the recordings that I'm talking about. You see these? So if you click this little thing over to the side here, That's where you're able to see the transcription version of it. And I just want you to notice something. Can anybody tell me how many gigabytes is all of these recordings? How many gigabytes? All of this together. It's 6.67 gigabytes. Can anybody tell me how many gigabytes you get on a Zoom Pro account? Zoom Pro account, how many gigabytes does Zoom Pro give you?
Unlimited?
No, Zoom Pro. This is Zoom Enterprise. Zoom Enterprise is unlimited. Zoom Pro is 1 gigabyte. So if you're watching this and you're like, I don't need Zoom Enterprise, you're hurting yourself because you are limiting the number of recordings you can get or the versions of your recordings. Does that make sense? Because I got the shared screen. That just means I'm sharing my PowerPoint slide. And that's me and my PowerPoint slide. That's what that is right here. Me and my PowerPoint slide, shared speaker view. Here, shared screen with gallery view. That's this right here. So I may want those recordings for different reasons. I have members I want to share my recordings with. My members don't necessarily want to see gallery view. And if you're recording for a course, they usually just want to see the speaker. Does that make sense? But what if you're doing a hot seat panel or a success panel or awards or something like that where you need to show gallery? You have a choice of which recording you want to release. So I like to have choices. But bottom line is, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. Not only am I sharing about transcriptions, but I'm also kind of sharing about recordings as well. Okay. Oh, I thought I was using the wrong slides. Yeah, I'm using the wrong slides, guys. I knew I was going to do that. So this is what I want you to see here where it says 6.67 gigabytes, 90-minute calls, 8 files recorded. So this is why you want to use Zoom Enterprise. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
You want to leverage that, huh?
You do have some questions in the chat.
Okay, go ahead.
Juanita asked, do you keep the recordings? How can you organize them? And that's pretty much what you're showing now. And is it better to store in the cloud or on their PC?
Oh, no. And guys, I'm going to switch because I got the wrong slides up. You definitely want to store it in a cloud. By the way, if you don't store it on a cloud, you're not going to get the transcription version of it. You got to store it in a cloud. Yeah, that's big. Yeah, because Zoom has got it's a cloud thing. So you got to do it in the cloud. That's important. And it will tear up your computer because I have a big, huge Mac over there and Zoom messed it up because those files are humongous. You want them to be big because that means they're powerful, but they're so big where they start to eat up all your stuff. So you don't want to do that. What was that other question?
How do you organize your recordings? And did you keep them? And yes, the answer is yes. And how do you organize them?
No, I organized them. Oh, here it is. Thank you. Now I got the right one up. Cockle-doodle-doo. All right. But it keeps coming up in a weird way. I see what's going on. Damn it. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I see exactly what's happening. Hold on. The real slides are having an issue. Let me hit close here. Okay, good. Does anyone have a Mac and Mac switches over? Don't even try to figure it out what I'm trying to say, but it's so frustrating. All right, so let me try to bring up this presentation again. I showed you where each and every file, you can go in and literally name that file right into the cloud storage library. Here's something else. Some people will say, well, darn it, if I stop the recording, because do you ever want to do multiple recordings in one Zoom meeting? Anybody? Why would you need to do multiple recordings? Anyone answer that? Unmute. Why would you need to do multiple recordings in one Zoom meeting? I'd love to know your answer.
I would do it if there was a break. Snippets.
Say that again?
Use it for different snippets, like if you want to use a segment for YouTube, for commercial, whatever, and just pick that portion.
Exactly. Or like, for example, as many of you know, I did a retreat, InView retreat a couple of weeks ago. Well, again, I want to leverage my time. So I would start and stop the recording for segment 1, and then start and stop the recording for segment 2. Number 1, people can learn and eat and drink and take it all in segments. So I take those same recordings and I put them into my back end so someone else can buy it. I've had people buy it after the retreat was over, or a member may want to go in and listen. And I'm telling you, Amir may be a nice guy, but he does not necessarily want to listen to the entire retreat. So now we've broken it up into pieces. So that's one of the reasons why. So you can start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. But this is what you need to know. When you go in here and you start and stop like that, it's going to be it's very interesting. You only have one big space in your recording section where you can write, like, I don't know, Teresa has better words, but where you can do like a chapter, if that makes sense. A book title. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but like a subject header, maybe that's a better word. And then all the files that come underneath it, like this can be duplicated a few times. You can still go in and name these files. So then I can call it retreat part 1, retreat part 2, retreat part 3. So bottom line is the cloud storage allows you to stay organized. You see what I'm saying? And then it's there forever. It's not going anywhere. It's amazing. Isn't that great? It just stays. Yeah. And so I'll say, Teresa, can you go back to my August event? I got about 3 testimonials on that, and she'll go right into the library and she can find it. So it just makes life easier. By the way, guys, this is how the transcript looks. It's a VTT file. You can export it. So I export it and turn it into a PDF. Okay, but you can have the transcript written as well. So hopefully everyone got that. If you go, most of my guys, if you're a Zoom Enterprise member, you can go into Zoom Basics. You can go into my most recent Zoom course, and I go deeper with this. My only goal here is to kind of remind you and share with you little things that maybe you didn't know. Is that cool? So as we go on this journey, let's talk. Anybody want to know about live stream? Anybody care about that? Yes.
You do
go
have
ahead, Teresa.
You do have a couple of other questions. I don't want to go too far before we ask them or answer them.
Okay, go ahead.
So Lenora asked, do I set this up in settings or for specific meetings? Does she set up her recording in settings or just for specific meetings if she wants to?
Okay, say that again.
I think what Lenora is trying to say is I think what she's asking is, how does she record? That's pretty much the question, because Lenora, you record from your Zoom meeting. When you're in the meeting, you have the record button as the host, and you record at any time. Recording is available to you. I don't know if it's something you have to turn on in settings.
No. Well, unmute Lenora and tell us what your question is. Looks like that wasn't it. You want to unmute and tell us what your question is?
Right. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I was just.
We can't hear you, Lenora. Can you guys hear her? No. All of a sudden, I know it just went away that quick. Try it again, Lenora. Okay. While she's working on that, what was the other question?
I'm looking for it now. There was another question from Juanita, and Juanita was asking, can you convert them if you've saved them on your PC? Yeah.
No, they convert, but they can't be put into the cloud. I'm not sure if I understand, but yeah, if you save them on your PC, then they'll just be, you got to put them somewhere else, like Dropbox or something like that. But the whole purpose of this is you want to put it in the cloud storage. But to be fair, and some of my colleagues will say this, sometimes it makes sense to save the recording on your direct computer. It makes sense to, save the recording on your computer so that you get the highest, what do you call it? Highest resolution. Now, however, for my Zoom Enterprise members, I've enabled the highest resolution. They give that benefit to all to certain Zoom Enterprise accounts. What were you going to say, Teresa?
I download it onto my computer when I want to upload it to YouTube. If I want to do something with that video and upload it to YouTube, that's how I do it.
But you can also do that from the cloud, though. So you don't have to do it for that reason. I mean, that's an option, but you don't have to. Guys, let's go to live stream here because I want to get through this. All right. So guys, if you go into your settings, you want to go to advanced, you want to go all the way to the bottom of the page. Now, of course, you want to check them all off. I'm assuming you do. You don't have to check them all off, but Facebook means you're going directly into Facebook via Zoom. YouTube means you're going directly into YouTube via Zoom. I have Workplace by Facebook checked, but I've never used it, so I can't speak to that. But the one I want to focus on right now is the custom live streaming service. Here's a tip that took me a minute to learn. So when I learn something, I like to pass it on to you guys. If I wondered why I had such a hard time connecting a custom live streaming service. I couldn't figure it out because I've had my, Zoom account for a long time. I had to go and reset this. Does that make sense? So I had to reset this thing. So one of the things you want to do is go in here and reset. When I say reset, you see where the blue button is and the white is? You just click this here. And it'll reset this. It doesn't reset all your settings. I don't want to say that. It just resets the allow live stream meeting settings. When I did this, I was able to easily connect the custom live streaming service. And what I would do, guys, this is a really easy thing. Y'all, we all love Dr. Google, right? I just went to Google and I said, Google, I want to connect Restream to Zoom. And then somebody created a video on that and I followed the instructions verbatim. It was so easy. I love it. Now I know other people connect other live streaming services, but I like Restream. It's just so easy, guys. It's so easy. So I connected here and let me just do a closer look here. It's right here. And then I go into, and Restream gives you some kind of code or I don't remember. So I would do it badly. So just Google it. And there's a code that Restream gives you. And I think you put it into Facebook or vice versa. I don't remember it. It's been a minute, but I just wanted to let you know that you can multi-stream, which means go in multiple places. Right now, I'm going to 2 places on Facebook and I'm going to YouTube right now. So I'm going 3 different places. So I like that. It spreads my content in multiple places. Does that make sense? And I'm saving it right here in my Zoom. Yes, I am. So it's going right to the cloud. So I love that. It's all coming from Zoom. I love doing that. So this is the best thing I can tell you to do. Go in here, advanced settings, depending on the custom live stream service you're using, go ahead and do the video. Lenora, can you speak yet? Is it working? Say something. No, it's not. Oh, no. Okay.
Well,
All
she
right.
asked her question in the chat.
Okay. What's her question?
I can see her moving. Her question really was, what she meant was that when she clicks the transition button for the types of recordings that she wants, does she have to do it one time or does she have to do it for every meeting?
No. Oh, good question. Good question. Okay. So there's global settings and then there's meeting settings. So no, I do not. It's the global settings. Global settings means you go into your settings and it affects all your meetings and you can just check off that you want all the recordings and that will apply to all of your meetings. Isn't that fabulous? So yes, the global settings. Yeah. But remember, guys, if you go into your meeting settings for that particular meeting and you change something, then Zoom is going to pay attention to the meeting and it's going to ignore what's on the global. So, just keep that in mind. And then what else I wanted to talk about? I think some of it I've already talked about. You guys understand recordings, but one of the things that sometimes we don't know is if you want to share these different things, they all have a shareable link that you can use. You wanted to use these. Okay. Oh, look at this, guys. This is a snapshot from my recordings library. Do you see that? So you see how I have the Zoom Like a Boss Awards up here. And then here's the Zoom Like a Boss Awards ceremony. And then this is the post ceremony. You see how I did that? So didn't that look all nice and organized? Aren't you impressed? Okay, and I think I showed you guys that already. So let's go to webinar. Let me know if we have any questions, Teresa, that we need to address. But remember, guys, I'm just giving you a few things. This is not detailed training. You can go into your my Zoom training and get all of that good stuff. Okay. This is more bigger picture because you ain't gonna remember if I go too deep. Zoom webinar, guys. This is, if not the number one reason, the second reason why you want Zoom Enterprise. And by the way, if you're wondering how do you get Zoom Enterprise, go to zoomtoincome.com. That's how you buy it from me. I have some licenses left. Zoom 2, that's toincome.com, and you will immediately get access to my training and give us 24 hours to get you set up. Okay. But if you go to the Zoom, and guys, here's a little note, if you have friends or a tribe, I know Lenore knows a lot of people, and you're like, hey, I got a friend that needs Zoom Enterprise. And if you want to refer them to me, I will pay you for that. So I just want to let you know that. Yeah, I'll pay you for that. So, Zoom feature webinar. I've talked about this before, but I know I got different people that are on the call. If you go to webinar, guys, you can go into the back end of webinar and you can use source name to decide which, let me back up a little bit. A lot of us will do, and by the way, this is not just for webinars. The platform is called Zoom Webinar. It's a Zoom webinar platform. Does that make sense? So with it being a Zoom webinar platform, you may decide that you're going to put, I'm going to send it to my email list. I'm going to send it to my LinkedIn page. I'm going to put it on Instagram. I'm going to put it in 3 of my Facebook groups. You get the deal. You can put all of this here. There's a section under invite attendees. That makes sense, right? You're going to click add right here, and you're going to put whatever place you want to put it. This is the only thing you're putting in is wherever you're placing it. That's for your purposes. Zoom will give you a unique tracking URL, and then it will tell you how many people registered via that link and how many visitors. And this is excellent when you're spreading it out. I love that. Here's another reason why you want to use Zoom webinar is because it gives you complete control. So if you have to do pre-recorded webinars, but you want people to watch it, but you don't want their faces on there, but you want to know that they're there because you want that invisible energy, but you know that they're there. Or if you're doing a big event, like I've done things on Zoom meeting and then moved over to Zoom webinar. Zoom webinar just gives you so much control, and it just is so many things you can do. And guys, they got something new now. Look at this. You see where it says attendee video layout? You can decide, and this was a big problem before, so thank you, Zoom, for fixing this. You know how if you're doing a webinar, you're showing your screen, you want your audience to follow you. Does that make sense? So you don't want, what if Amir is like, I want to see who's here? If I want Amir just to focus on just the speaker, then guess what? I got control now. Isn't that beautiful? So it says attendee video layout. So you click here and then you can decide follow host view, active speaker view, because you're going to understand the participant can change their view if they want. They can go from participant to speaker, but only with webinar can you decide which view you want to be seen. Is that cool or is that cool? Hey, well, I'm excited. Also, Q&A is up leveled, guys. I did a little bit of an example, but now a person can, well, you already know, and maybe you don't. In Zoom webinar, you not only have chat, which is on a whole nother level. That'll be a call I'll do in February, but there's a separate section just for Q&A when they've taken it up a few notches. Isn't that cool? So why do you care about this? So let's say that Juanita asked me a question in Q&A and I decided to answer it. Juanita can rate my question. She can give me a thumbs up. She can respond back to it. So it has just gone to the next level. So sometimes, depending on the kind of presentation you're giving or the kind of virtual event you will have, you want a separate section just for questions, especially if it's a lot of people. So that's why I love it. Did you know that was there, Marilyn? That's like, yeah. See, look at her. See, that's new, right? Isn't that cool? Okay, and don't forget, guys, is end to end. And you can do everything. I mean, it sends out reminders to you. It does webinar on demand. It does everything. Guys, the webinar by itself, if you have Zoom Pro, the webinar by itself is $47 a month. So if you want to pay the 15 plus the 47, you go right ahead. Or you can get all of this under Zoom Enterprise. So that's why you kind of want to do it. So let me show you again, Zoom Enterprise. Again, you're going to go to zoom2income.com. And this is the difference between the two. And guys, if you have friends, send them, just tell them to use your name and you'll be paid for it. Okay. Or if you have a lot of friends, email me so I can give you your own special link because that would be too hard to track. And then you get access to all my Zoom stuff. All right, guys, I think that's what I wanted to share. Was this good? Did this help you? Because if I give you too much, then it's a training. And since I'm going underground, I know some people don't believe it. Jovita said, girl, you ain't going underground. You ain't going underground. I'm like, I am, Jovita, but I had all this activity. So I said, y'all not going to take up my week like this. Not y'all, but other activity going on. So I am going to be underground as of Monday. And then I'm not going to be back until the second week of February. But if you're, make sure, guys, that you have my phone number. Not for you to call me. That's not what this is, or send me questions. But if you want to stay up to date with what I'm working on and what I'm doing, and some things are above and beyond Zoom, then make sure you write this number down, send me a quick message, and you're on my list. It's like a special text list. I'm kind of excited about it. So make sure you do that because I'm rolling out a whole thing where I break down my lifestyle business and how I make it run and how it makes a big difference. And there's a whole program that I'm releasing next month that people are lining up for, and I'm excited. So if you want to know about all that stuff, make sure you get on my list. Okay. And zoomqueen.com, that's where you can download ebooks and you can subscribe to my YouTube channel and everything you need to know. Bottom line, y'all, if y'all Zoom like a boss, the possibilities are endless. So I'm going to stop sharing. And I wanted to see if there's any questions that we have. It's so good to have several of you guys. Let me just check my restream so I can give a shout out to anybody that's watching me from YouTube. Yep, looks like I got a couple of people over there on YouTube, and I got people in different places. So hey, good to see you guys here. I love it. I love it. So it makes me happy. Oh, and if you're watching me and you're, oh, well, hopefully you got to see the screen, so you saw that. Any messages? Okay, gotcha. Any messages, guys?
There was a question from Lenore earlier where she says, "Do I need to click the transcript?" I'm not sure what she means by that.
So you need to. No. Oh, well, it's in settings. As long as you set it up in global settings, then you'll get the transcript. So I don't know if that's what she means by it, but I'm going to go to gallery view so I can say hi to the few people that join me right here. And thank you guys. Do you want to unmute? Did you get something out of this? I would love to hear if are you going to Zoom like a boss in 2021? Okay, good. Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Was this helpful? So what were the 4 things I covered? Recordings, transcripts, live streaming, and it was something else. I don't remember.
And the webinar feature.
And
now.
webinar. There you go. And webinar. So you're going to use these things?
Yeah, I
It's a
didn't
game
have all
changer.
those checked off. Like I don't have every one of those checked off. I know they were there, but I only had a couple. So I'm going to go get them all.
Oh, you can check them off and you'll get them every single time, even if you don't use them.
Yeah.
Because you have Zoom Enterprise, my dear.
I do.
Yeah. So you can use them. Yeah. So you guys are going to use them, right? Fantastic.
I have one question. I had like maybe 2 or 3 other people that I had shared your name with, but I didn't know if I could invite them to this forum. I said,
absolutely.
So I missed out for 3 weeks because I kept telling him, I said, I haven't, and the last 3 weeks were so busy for me that.
Well, I'm coming back in February, Amir. Have them get on my list. And if they go to zoomqueen.com, they'll download that ebook and they'll be on my email list, because you want to give them that wonderful creating a polished virtual background guide, and they can get that by going to Zoom Queen. or you can give them that number and tell them to subscribe. So they have to send a message to it. Otherwise, it ain't gonna help them. And then I'll let them know what's going on. Okay.
I'll send an introduction email, and
Okay.
then you do your thing, and you do
Okay.
your thing, whatever.
Sounds yep. Thank you, Amir. Absolutely. And I appreciate you guys, and I will be back. I'm not going far. I'll be back in a few weeks. I just want to go underground and do all this awesome things I got to do so I can come back bigger and badder. And as Zoom changes, I'm going to still keep you updated. Is that cool? Yes.
You need to be a little bit careful now with that word underground, because we don't want you to, show up in Washington, D.C.
Oh my God. I know.
Please.
All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Have a wonderful rest of the day. I appreciate you guys so much. All right.
Play some music.
Oh, that's right. Let me play us out. Zoom. I'm going to wrap us out because I'm tired. Zoom like a boss.
Okay, bye,
Guys.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
On that note, I'm going to say goodbye, everybody.